This is the new Govee T2 TV Backlight, and it really does bring a new element to watching TV. It pretty much enhances anything you're watching, so let's take a closer look. Don't forget to hit the red button to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up and click the notification bell to get my next video first. Now before I start setting up the product, I just wanted to show you how responsive this TV backlight is using the camera on top of the TV. It really does follow pretty much anything that's going on the screen, and it's all via the camera on top. It is really simple but really very smart. Now I know you're not going to be watching a white circle on a screen, but for movies it's brilliant. The T2 backlight is the updated version from the T1. It provides you with the camera which sits on top, which I do have to say was a lot bigger than I expected it to be, and it's a lot more weighty, but it feels really well made and looks pretty good. Inside the box you get your backlight and you get your cables to connect it with. It's all pretty simple. In fact, this is the full package. It really is comprehensive, everything that you need, and it takes about 10 minutes to set up, no longer than that. The light is provided with one continuous strip of LEDs which already have their connections in and also the corners set for the TV. There's no connecting required. There's a comprehensive user manual, and the star of the show, I think, is this camera. It has two cameras either side. The build quality, as I said earlier, is fantastic. It is quite weighty, but it feels like it is very well made. So if you have the app in movie mode, this will read what's going on the screen and then display and replicate that on the TV backlight. It is very simple, but also very effective. There's also a control box which everything plugs into, which is definitely very good. And if you want to, you can stick that to the back of the TV. There is a 3M strip on the back. Simple power connector on the side will get everything up and running. And obviously you've got the Govee app. Now there's different ways of connecting your LED strip to the back of your TV. I've just used the 3M strip on the back of the LED strip and then used the plastic connectors just to hide the corner wires. But it's all very neat and very simple to do. It literally takes about 2 or 3 minutes. The only slight complication can come from the bottom where it's connected to the stand, but on mine I've just fed this through the middle of the stand, so you do need to be aware of that. Pop the camera on top and then connect it to the control box, and if you want to, as I said, you can stick that to the back of the TV. I'm not going to do that at the moment, I'm just going to hang it down behind. But once you've turned it on, it's then ready to set up via the Govee app. Now in this video I'm not going to go through all of that setup. The Govee app is so simple, it will find it immediately and it will then walk you through that process. There's plenty of videos as well. To calibrate the camera, you'll need to attach these orange little blocks, and that's what the camera reads to set the distances of the TV. And it will give you an image within the app and calibrate it automatically. Again, this just takes a few seconds to do, but when it's done, it's all set up and then it's working perfectly. So another quick demo here to show you how responsive the camera and the lights on the back are is as this light, the red, comes down the screen, you can see that the backlight is getting redder and redder and moving down. It really is very, very quick and very effective. I think there's probably a couple of millisecond delay, certainly no more than a second. Now I've chosen some certain material to really give you an impression of how great this thing can be, but I've got it ramped up to maximum and I don't necessarily recommend that that's the best setting. It can also hook up with some of your other DreamView equipment. You can see I've got the two lights to the side, and then you can have an even wider and more immersive effect, which I think is brilliant, and it does all this by connecting it via the app. Again, if that's something you want me to do a video about, then let me know and I will do that. But it can give you some incredible scenes. Now it doesn't just have to be the movie mode where it changes all the time. As with a lot of the other Govee products, you can have this reacting to music, or you can just have solid block colors like I've got here. And I think sometimes just a solid, subtle color behind can actually look just as good. It doesn't necessarily need to change all the time. Although if you're watching a movie and it's immersive and you've got the sound up, then definitely I'd recommend going for the movie mode. As well as the comprehensive app that you can see on the screen, this also will work with your Amazon Alexa devices and also your Google Assistant, so you can control this all via your voice, and you can hook it up to routines and also set it within rooms, which is what I've done with mine. Now, to give you an example of how the colors go on the back, as I'm changing the colors on the screen, then I will show you how they change in the background, and again you can see it provides an even and very effective light. Now, I mentioned the size of the camera at the start of this video, and I thought that it was going to look too big on top of the TV. But as you can see, from pretty much any distance, you don't really notice it. Yes, you can see it, but it soon disappears from your line of sight. And what I mean by that is that you just forget that it's there. And so although it looks a little bit odd when you first notice it, and it does take some getting used to, within just a few seconds, that has gone, and there is definitely no problem with the size of the camera. So I definitely recommend getting one. That's it, my friends. All of the information for this camera and the lighting will be in the description, so check out the link there, and I definitely recommend enhancing your viewing pleasure with something like this TV T2 backlight.